Good day, Earth viewers. I'm Oma from O.D.A. TV. Join me as I give you today's top news headlines.
Iran's leadership has gathered thousands of people here to Tehran after Friday prayers to voice their anger about the U.S. and Israel's bombing campaign across the country, but of course also to mourn Iran's late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And thousands of people have indeed turned out here. At the same time, we have to keep in mind this is just a small snapshot of Iran's society, and the people who come to Friday prayers here in Tehran usually are political conservatives and religious hardliners. At the same time, it does show that the government here is still able to mobilize masses.
اعتقاد داریم که اگر کشته بشیم هم شهیدیم، یعنی چه بمونیم پای انقلاب چه شهید بشیم هر دوش برای ما پیروزی.
خون رهبر شهیدمون ریخته ولی راهش ادامه داره. فکر نکن
با این کشتن ها با این شهادت ها به پیروزی نمیرسه و حتی کوچکترین ذره از خاکمون هم نمیتونه بگیره و حتی هرچه بزنه.
All this is happening, of course, as the U.S. and Israel continue their massive bombing campaign, not just here in Tehran and the vicinity, but indeed in the entire country. The U.S. says that it's hitting military positions and trying to hit Iran's religious and also political leadership, while the Iranians say at this point in time they are not willing to negotiate with the United States, and they also say that they have a missile supply and drones to carry on military operations for an extended period of time.
Russia is helping Iran target Americans in the Middle East, and China could soon get involved too. We're told by multiple sources that Russia has been providing Iran with intelligence about the locations and movements of American troops, ships, and aircraft, marking Moscow's first known involvement in this war. Now, it's hard to say just how important the Russian intelligence has been to the Iranians, but several Iranian drones have hit locations where U.S. troops have been in recent days, including in Kuwait, where 6 American service members were killed by an Iranian drone on Sunday. China could also be getting ready to help Iran financially and with missile components, according to our sources, but they have been more cautious in their support for the regime.
Lysandra, lock this door. You guys are chickens.
Stay safe.
Lock it.
I'm gonna let it.
Yeah.
In an interview with CNN, Donald Trump says Cuba is ready to fall, and he believes the government here is desperate to make a deal with his administration. Now, officials I've been talking with over the last several weeks say they will resist this pressure campaign from the U.S., and they're willing to fight if necessary. But the reality is we are seeing the impacts of the Trump oil embargo on this island on a daily basis. There are just less cars on the road. There are blackouts that are lasting longer and longer. Life, which was already difficult here, is getting tougher and tougher for regular Cubans who are increasingly concerned about what the future holds for them. So while officials here are putting on a brave face, the reality is this may be checkmate. This island is running literally on fumes, and while officials say they are willing to talk, they claim they're not willing to make any concessions, but the reality might be quite different as Donald Trump squeezes Cuba in a way we've not seen in years.
بازم دارن میزنن اینجا رو دارن میزنن تصویر منو دارین حمله شدم این الان به اینجا همین الان اینجا دوباره مورد حمله قرار گرفت اینجا و میشه گفتش که بینندگان دیدن این ظلم و خونه های مردم اینا بیشرفا به مردم رحم نمی کنن. ببینین این وضعیت مردمه.
Over 1,000 people have been killed so far in 1 week of US-Israeli bombings in Iran, according to human rights groups, including schoolgirls at an elementary school that was hit in the opening salvo last week. Now, we also do not know how long this is going to go on for because we don't know what the exit strategy is. None has yet been articulated.
Why we entered the war and what the goals are, it looks as if it's pretty open-ended, that we may be at war with Iran, bombing Iran for months, if not the better part of this year.
As for President Trump, he has been also shifting his goalposts. The US has basically said this is not about regime change. Here's what President Trump says could be an option for the future. But we do not know what's going to come next. Is it going to be a civil war if there's a regime collapse? Iran is split between being Shiite, Sunni, Kurdish, and other tribes. Could that happen? This is what the former head of MI6 here in the UK, the spy chief John Sawyer, has told me.
The very best outcome you can expect from the current conflict is that a successor leadership comes in and behaves differently from its predecessors.
One of the most terrible options, as Trump said, is that the hardest of the hard line of this regime could survive. And that the lesson Iran takes from this existential struggle for its own survival right now is that only with a nuclear weapon would it be able to guarantee its long-term survival.
I guess the worst case would be we do this and then somebody takes over who's as bad as the previous person, right? That could happen.
Right now, we're no clearer to knowing the ultimate objectives or what will constitute victory. What is clear, though, that at this time, the Iranian people under such heavy firepower are going to be paying the heaviest price.
The people of Iran even take over their government. We saw in January an extraordinary wave of protests which went right across the country, and it was put down with lethal force, causing thousands, many thousands of deaths, the greatest number in Iranian history. Even before this war, Iran was at a crossroads, pulling in different directions, and now it's a country at war. And even those Iranians who would like to go out on the streets to call for change, they're now trying to protect themselves against the missiles which are landing in Tehran and many other cities. Iranians now feel conflicting emotions, and they've been warned by the elite Islamic Revolutionary Guards that if you go out into the streets to protest, you'll meet an iron fist and be considered a collaborator. This war is being regarded by the leaders of the Islamic Republic as a battle for survival. And Iranians now are asking, is it a battle for their survival too?
Will Iran's abandoned embassy here in Washington, D.C. ever see anyone in it again? Back in the 1970s, this place hosted glamorous events, caviar, and celebrities like Elizabeth Taylor. That all ended after Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution and the hostage crisis, with this building sitting empty ever since. For more than 40 years, the United States and Iran have had no formal diplomatic relations. Further proof of that, the former American embassy compound in Tehran is now the U.S. Den of Espionage Museum. So what would it take to see this embassy building opened once again? One possibility, regime change. At the outset of this current conflict, President Trump called on Iranians to rise up and topple their government. But now, the US Defense Secretary says this is not a regime change war. Second, talks. After the killing of the Ayatollah, President Trump said he was open to speaking with Iran, but Iran's interim leadership has since said they will not negotiate. Third, it's unlikely that any embassy will reopen until the question of Iran's nuclear program is settled. Then there's the question of what Iranians themselves would want in any post-conflict future. For now, it's unclear how this war will play out.
Well, this is Dubai Airport, where it feels pretty calm and quiet at the moment. That's despite a text message alert being sent out earlier to everyone in the city, urging them to take urgent shelter because of the threat of more Iranian missiles coming this way. That warning was subsequently lifted. Here at the airport, more flights are taking off, including those going towards London, Edinburgh and Manchester, but they've got a big backlog to make up. It's thought as many as 20,000 flights have been cancelled in the Middle East over the past few days.
Have you seen videos like this in your feed. In the days after the US-Israel strikes on Iran, dozens of influencers in the UAE posted messages like this, talking about not being afraid, about strong leadership, and about the country's air defense systems. Similar posts across other Arab countries got far more views and engagement than those accounts usually receive. We wanted to understand whether this was just a social trend or something more coordinated. So we analyzed 129 Instagram posts from 21 Dubai-based accounts posted between the 28th of February and the 4th of March. Many of them used almost exactly the same wording. The phrase air defense appeared 18 times. Others included stay safe and strong leadership, often reinforcing the same themes: safety, stability, and leadership. In some cases, posts were uploaded within seconds of each other by non-Emirati influencers based in Dubai. These indications usually point to coordinated efforts, but we do not know for sure if this was the case here. The UAE has strict laws about what you can post. It's illegal to spread what authorities consider to be false information or rumors. And since the conflict broke out, the UAE government has specifically warned residents against posting any content that contradicts official announcements. With almost 90% of residents coming from abroad, some supporters feel it's within the government's right to have such policy.
U.S. Congressman Tony Gonzalez has admitted to having an extramarital affair with an aide, despite having previously denied that the relationship happened. The Texas Republican is married with 6 children. He said the relationship with married staff member Regina Santos Aviles, who died by suicide last year, was a mistake and a lapse in judgment. This admission came hours after a House of Representatives panel launched an ethics investigation into the relationship. Gonzalez had previously dismissed the allegations as blackmail and a coordinated attack to unseat him. This revelation comes as Gonzalez faces a tense battle for re-election. He was endorsed by U.S. President Donald Trump before the affair allegations surfaced, but is now facing growing calls for his resignation, including from members of his own party. Gonzalez told conservative podcaster Joe Pags in an interview released on Wednesday that Santos Aviles' death had nothing to do with the affair, and says that God has forgiven him. A lawyer for Aviles told CBS in a recent interview that Santos Aviles' mental health had sharply declined following the end of her alleged relationship with the congressman. The BBC has contacted Gonzalez' office for comment.
I don't know. You may be better than Pele. Pele was pretty good. Who's better, him or Pele?
Merci.
I agree.
And now we have some gifts we'd like to present to you.
Thank you.
This Mr. Brent says USA 250 on the front, which we have on our jersey. And this is Trump 47. And Lionel Messi's number 10 is the best-selling jersey in the world.
Oh, Eren. Yo. Oh, Eren.
تهران رو میزنم. خب اگر میشه تهران سریع تخلیه
موشک اشاریت زوم کنم. نمیدونم چه کوفتیه که ببینیم در اینجا بایستا فیلمه رو بگیرم. نه خود استادیوم
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.